Naturally, the new advertising restrictions will also have a significant impact on the Netherlands-facing affiliate sector. I can imagine that the obligation to ensure and demonstrate that 95% of website visitors are over 23 years old will be a significant technical burden. Here to discuss the impact of the new rules of the affiliate sector are Joris Dekkers, who is Managing Director Netherlands at Better Collective, Steven Vrolijk, founder of affiliate quality mark KVA, as well as Frank Woerd, co-founder of CasinoNieuws. Their discussion will be moderated by Scott Longley, who is co-founder and editor at Earnings+More. Welcome, Scott. Welcome, gentlemen. Please take a seat on the stage. And I hand over the panel to you.
Hi, everyone. I've got my questions on the phone, so I'm not just...
That's fine.
You know,
I have my answers ready on the phone as well.
That's good. Okay. Well, let's all get our phones out and just share it. So I'll take, if you want to take some time just to introduce yourselves, and then we'll crack on.
My name is Steven. I'm founder of Quality Mark Responsible Affiliates, Keurmerk Verantwoord Affiliates. This Quality Mark is servicing affiliates and doing compliance checks and hoping to self-regulate the affiliate sector. There has been not so much trust in this sector in the past, and we are trying to get the trust up, and I think it's working. So,
Joris.
Yeah, Joris Dekkers, managing the Netherlands for Better Collective, digital sports media and sports betting affiliate company.
Frank Woerd for CasinoNieuws.nl, proud member of the KVA, and we bring daily news about the gambling industry in the Netherlands.
So we've just had a panel which has discussed well, we've had a few panels already discussing the broad changes to marketing rules in the Netherlands coming in July. This is going to focus specifically on how they're going to affect potentially the affiliate sector. We've already had a chat about it. Joris, I mean, maybe you could go through some of the specifics of the rules when it comes to the affiliate sector. And like I say, on a previous call that we had about this, you said there were two specific rules that you think will impact the market in the affiliate space.
I think in general, we're going to see a landslide effect in the affiliate market where a lot of affiliates will have a very tough time to comply to the new regulations, especially sports betting affiliates, perhaps, because normally the ages tend to be a little bit younger, the demographics. But also the smaller affiliates, obviously, who don't have the capacity, technical, or even in other capacities to comply. Because I don't think the age gating will be enough to sometimes reach the 5%. I think it's already been discussed before that age gating, it's a measure it looks nice, but inevitably it'll get circumvented by a lot of people. So there needs to be other things as well for a website to survive the new compliance rules.
Is this kind of one of those situations where the regulators or the legislators have kind of ignored how actual people react and act in situations when it comes to online behaviours? And like you're saying, getting around age gating restrictions is second nature to a lot of people. Frank as well, if you want to talk about that.
I feel there's a little bit of a double standard because they introduced Google Analytics as a reporting tool. Basically, Google Analytics goes by what you tell them as well. When you sign up for your Gmail account, you tell them your age, but you're not providing your ID or your driver's license. So there really is no massive difference with what we're doing when we're having the age wall up and asking them, are you 24 years of age or older? And the issue is people are lying. Yeah. You ask them and they don't tell the truth. And obviously it's set up, you have to have that percentage of 95%. But in reality, it's very tough to get there because people aren't being honest when they're asked to. And really, I mean, I can't blame them because when I visit a site, when I visit Heineken.nl, they ask my age, I fill in that I'm 100 just to get rid of it. It's the first instinct to just be done with it, afraid that you might not get the actual version of the website that you're looking for, or not being able to visit it at all. So I understand how it works, but I feel that when the decree was being published, they weren't really aware of how stuff works on the internet. And that's kind of unfortunate, but I don't want to be complaining here. I feel confident that we'll get there, at least as CasinoNieuws.nl, and we'll do everything in our power, and I guess that goes for a lot of the affiliates and definitely for yours as well. But it is tough, and like Joris said, a lot of the smaller ones, they might drop off or might make a different decision on how to pursue, maybe opt for the illegal offering. Maybe quit at all, and that leaves room for illegal affiliates as well. So I'm worried a little bit about
we'll come
the
on
future.
to the question about illegal affiliates in particular, or not illegal affiliates, but grey market, black market operations. Stephen, just to, there's a point here about smaller affiliates having a more of a problem with these, with implementing rules such as these than the larger organisations represented by Joris, for instance. But your organisation is obviously there effectively to try and help them with this.
Yeah, understandably, it's more difficult for the smaller and mid-sized companies to obey to the new regulations. While we also have members like Better Collective and CasinoNieuws and bigger affiliate companies, we also have a lot of smaller, mid-sized affiliates who are indeed struggling. They want to comply, so there's a lot of everybody's coming together. Okay, how can we share best practices? What can we do? Everybody's trying, but it's how to say, it's expensive if you have to put a development team on implementing it.
And there's relatively short notice. Obviously, it was 2.5 months, and some of these things take a little bit more time. So.
Yeah, like I was saying, mid-sized and smaller affiliates have a bigger problem because mainly the cost and sometimes the lack of knowledge. But at KVA we try to support them on compliance, but also technically. So my hope is that also smaller and mid-sized affiliates will not leave the market or turn to the grey market again. Yeah.
Now this is I suppose it's looming, the question around the grey market stroke black market, or the illegal market now. But there is the opposite from going to the illegal market, should I say, was a subject we'll come to already in a bit. But the opposite point of view there is that the rules that are affecting the rest of the market, when it comes to marketing, above-the-line advertising and untargeted advertising, does that potentially favour affiliates? Because they can exist in they're not in that realm of untargeted.
Yes, I think if I understand the question correctly, it is indeed a big favor to the affiliates who are already working illegally. If you just Google online gok, a very Dutch related search term, you will find things like casino without crux, casino without Dutch license, casino without license and ideal. So there are already a lot of pirates on the coast, so to say. And I think that when smaller, mid-sized affiliates are going to be stopping or maybe get taken over by the bigger companies, there will be more room in the Google results for the illegal affiliates. And that's not only the advertising results, but that will also be the organic results. So that's a bigger problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is an unintended consequence, so isn't it, of the rules? Is that it's not really been thought through that this is actually going to channel more players to the illegal market because of the rules that have been introduced, and very specifically channel them.
I mean, it's a possible side effect for sure, and obviously that wasn't the goal when they set this up. The best intentions were there, obviously, but it is. And when I talked to the ministry and when I talked to the regulator, they made sure to express that isn't their goal. They don't want all the affiliates gone, but it might be a possible result of it. It is kind of the other way around. If you're looking for the rules to blackjack, or if you're Googling, I want to bet on the Champions League final, you should be directed to a affiliate website or any other website with the best intentions, just moving you to the legal offering. And if that's not the case, if the opposite's the case, yeah, then I don't know what the idea is, but it might be one of the outcomes.
Also in the explanatory notes of the ministry, it was noted that yes, we are aware of channelization, we understand it, it's important, but channelization is actually a tool for consumer protection, and it's more important to focus on consumer protection, and that means, the advertising ban in this way. But I think it's a strange conclusion, but I don't want to complain too much.
Yeah, and Feite always tells the story of that he wants like basically a white sheet of paper with the 20 names of the legal operators. But if you Google legal operators, and my website would be dropping out, and Joris' website, they wouldn't be showing up, but something else. I mean, it's the other outcome that everyone should be wishing for.
What does it mean for an organisation like Better Collective, where clearly, as a company globally, you concentrate only on regulated markets, and you are in most markets that you operate in, you're one of the biggest affiliate operators. In other markets, and certainly the history of Better Collective is one of acquisition, that you've bought up smaller affiliates. Is that a potential outcome as well, that there'll simply be more M&A in relation to the affiliate market, potentially in the Netherlands?
Oh, I don't think we'll do any M&A in Holland anymore.
Right.
That's for sure. I mean, just to go back to the discussion,
Is that just because the competition out there, you're just way bigger?
No, just because the market is not trustworthy, right? So it's in essence, I think it already went wrong in the opening of the market, where operators just got the chance to do whatever they wanted. There were no boundaries. Okay, you had a time slot on television until 9, and obviously you saw the most crazy campaigns where even young adults were targeted. And that offset parliamentary members to be angry and start raising questions. So that's where I think we had a wrong start as a market. Now they're trying to repair certain things in their eyes. But what you're going to get is like the 18 to 24 demographic, which obviously is a vulnerable group. And we all agree, I think, that we should do everything in our power to make sure that they are aware that gambling is dangerous and should not be, activated too much in that demographic. What you're now going to get is that if you're 19 or 20 years old, you want to gamble, you go online. Basically, you get a pop-up saying you can't see this website, or you're not welcome here. So then they will go to a black market operator probably. So it's such a counterproductive thing. And what they should have done is they should have regulated the online market by saying if it's not targeted, so media sites, for example, you should not advertise. But if it's targeted, such as affiliates, especially as CasinoNieuws or any site that just lives off traffic from Google, they should have allowed just normal operations. And of course, with any preventive measures to inform young adults, obviously, of the risks. But you cannot say you're not welcome. Or
I propose that any website with casino in the URL would be good to go. It's as targeted as can be. My proposal didn't make it, obviously, but it is a very tricky subject, obviously. So, because where is the line? I understand all the difficulties, but the reality is that it makes for a tough situation right now. And we were talking about AI earlier today. If there is AI that can determine in real time how old someone is that is visiting my website and show them version A and version B in real time, if they're younger than 24 or older than 24, please reach out. I'm more than happy to spend a lot of money on it, but the case is that it's not there right now. So it leaves for a very tough situation, because I think I speak for basically all the responsible affiliates. We don't want to target the group of 24 and younger. We understand the risks, and but there is no good tool, and I feel like we say in Dutch, that you throw away the baby with the bathwater. We're making things worse just to prevent that small group of not seeing advertisements. And the first time I was invited to the ministry, I said, like, if this is such a huge issue, why don't we just start gambling at 24 and be done with all of this? Obviously, that proposal didn't make it either, but nobody ever listens to me. I understand that there's a lot of details in there, but it is kind of a weird situation that we're in.
A couple of things there. So first of all, I was going to ask about the extent to which anybody from the affiliate sector in particular was able to talk to the government before the rules came in, before the rules were formulated, to help them understand the market, and whether or not did your conversations with them just fall on deaf ears?
No, but obviously the ministry doesn't have the power in Holland, because it's two political parties that are proposing the regime, and the ministry just listens.
But they did listen somewhat. There was like a consultation period, and as was pointed out before today, the first draft was more strict. There wouldn't be it wouldn't be a total ban. So if you would focus any one of the vulnerable groups, it wouldn't be possible. So they listened somewhat, and the Council of State, the advisory report of them, it showed that they actually wanted to make it, I think, a little bit more lenient, but then because of the report of the Council of State, they made it like this.
Right.
We can just hope that the KSA won't be too strict with everything.
Yeah.
That's what we can hope for.
And the second thing that was in the panel session beforehand, so they talked about the advertising restrictions coming in July, but they said that the KSA, sorry, but it was, I think it's the KSA, was that they were going to have a bit of a watching brief before they started layering in actions, I guess. Now, is there a hope that watching brief might turn into more of a consultation exercise, effectively, and that they'll understand a better understanding of what the affiliate market might do, and therefore the rules might change?
Yes, I also heard René say that they are open to discuss more now with operators and affiliates. I know some affiliates had contact with the KSA in the recent weeks. We really want to talk to them. KVA wants to talk to them as well. We represent, I think, at this point, 80 affiliates, most of the biggest affiliates, and it would be a good thing to talk to each other, listen to each other, and see how we can get to the best option possible. Yeah.
Joris, are you hopeful that the rules might be somewhat mitigated by people looking at the market first before making a decision, effectively?
You mean how we approach the next months? Or?
Yeah. And is there room within that period to actually lobby at that point and say, look, this is not going to work, or that's not going to work, or this is how it should work?
Yeah, I mean, I think with the initiative from Frank, we signed a memorandum based with 7 affiliates. I think we showed what we are capable of, and hopefully, I think the replies were quite positive on that. So hopefully. They will see it also in that way, but some operators might say it's scary for us and we will be defensive, and other operators might think, hey, we'll keep working with affiliates. So that might also be an effect that you're going to see. That.
And there's different ways to respond if one of the affiliates isn't making the 5% threshold as well. Of course, you could be lenient in saying, like, hey, you need to improve. For now, we want to remove our brand from the website. You could respond in a way, okay, all is good, we'll take a look, be on your best behavior, and you could kick out affiliates all the way. So there's room there as well for the operators. And obviously, I'm more than happy to hear this morning and earlier as well from the KSA that they are going to use the first period, whatever that is, to see how things work in practice. But the decree is the decree, and the regulator is the regulator, so they can't change the decree, and I fully understand that. But it is a very short period of time to get things to where they need to be. If they kind of say that they won't be fining operators in the first period, I think that we're already at least somewhere to where we want to be, or getting closer at least, giving us a little bit of leeway.
A short note, I saw the clock is ticking. We are really noticing a lot of operators reaching out to us. Frank came up with an initiative, involved KVA as well, with 7 other affiliates. KVA as a whole, it is indeed providing trust for operators. So they all feedback us and say, okay, this is very good to see, because everybody is uniting somewhat.
For the first time, I feel that affiliates are on the same line.
We're not competitors, right?
Thanks very much, gentlemen. Willem, I think we've probably run our time down, have we?
We're perfectly on time. I think there's time for one question. We've seen a few questions coming by in Slido, and I think we picked one. I think you may have mentioned already something about it. Do you think that smaller affiliates will turn their back on the regulated market? Maybe
100%. 100%. Some of them were already in the gray market before. They tried it. It's tough. The easiest thing is to change in their back end the tracking links and some logos and be back on their way with not as much headache as they have now. So yeah, 100%.
Steven? Sorry, Joris?
No, I was thinking from an operator point of view, if you have to manage thousands of small affiliates, how can you oversee that? If I were an operator, I would also maybe say, okay, we'll work with the biggest partners, and the rest is just.
They say it's not only affiliates, also operators.
Yeah, of course.
Change their mind. Okay. Steven?
Yeah, I do not agree with that at all. I think that's where KVA comes in. We help the smaller affiliates to comply as well. We help them technically. Of course, the unregulated market is maybe attractively more financially, but we can help them. We really can. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the session. Thank you very much.